Last time on Beyond Compare Wrestling, Adam Ace and Jacob Akane defeated the BCW World Tag Team Champions, the Exiled, in a non-title match, handing the Exiled their first loss. How will the Exiles respond tonight? Also, Dirty Don and Mr. GM fought in a violent ambulance match at Beyond Rules 3. Have these two now settled their score after their brutal encounter? Or has the animosity between the two reached a new level? Beyond Compare Wrestling presents BCW 41, A Nightmare After Christmas. Welcome to Beyond Compare Wrestling. Making their way to the ring, Liam, No Honor Connors, and Slug.
Thank you for joining us here tonight for this post-Christmas episode of Beyond Compare Wrestling. And tonight we have the BCW World Tag Team Champions competing here in our opener in non-title action, and they're going up against Liam and Slug. And we'll get into it as this match progresses, but Liam and Slug could be in the catbird seat for picking up a win here tonight.
Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 540 pounds, the undisputed BCW World Tag Team Champions, Ultimo Nightmare and the Hardcore Icon Xander. They are the Exiled.
And here they are, the Exiled, the BCW World Tag Team Champions, and up until the last episode, undefeated. But it was at Beyond Rules 3 that it was Adam Ace and Jacob Akane picking up the win non-title against the Exiled, handing them their first loss. You know the Exiled are fuming after that one, but they are right back getting into action. They want to remove that L with a W. Can they pick up the win here tonight? And here we go. The bell has rung. The match is underway. BCW 41 is kicking off. And when you have Ultimo Nightmare and Xander of the Exiled in the ring, it is definitely going to be a nightmare situation for Liam, No Honor Connors, and Slug. As I mentioned, it was at Beyond Rules 3 in October, our Halloween episode, that the Exiled suffered their first loss. So they want to come back out here on the next episode, right here, right now, kick it off. They want to erase that L. They want to get a W. But for Liam and Slug, when you have an undefeated team picking up that loss for the first time, has this shaken the confidence of the BCW World Tag Team Champions? Can they recover? Can they get back on track? They are so big, so dangerous. We're going to see if Liam and Slug have the formula to pick up a win here tonight. And if they do, what a huge setback that would be for the Exiled. Adam Ace and Jacob Akane, they pinned the BCW World Tag Team Champions at Beyond Rules 3. They have a guaranteed tag team title shot. So if Liam and Slug are able to pick up a huge win here tonight, they might get themselves a tag team title shot as well. And look at this, Slug pressing Ultimo Nightmare and just looking right in the face of Xander, sending a message that they are not intimidated. They are not afraid of the Exiled, especially after the Exiled suffering that loss. And we have seen that before in combat sports, in professional wrestling. When you have an undefeated competitor lose for the first time, it is really about shaking it off, getting back to their winning ways, and getting that streak again. The Exiled, they were on a 10-0 streak, now 10-1 after picking up that loss. Can they shake it off? It is still an amazing record. 1 loss for every 10 wins. That's why they are the BCW World Tag Team Champions. Right now, Xander, right in the wrong part of the ring. Huge clothesline from Liam. No Wonder Connors grinds that forearm right in the face. Xander stiff, but able to kick out. And for Liam, No Honor Connors, and Slug, this could be the perfect situation. They are a newly formed tag team. They do not have any wins yet here in BCW, but they are using the same formula as the Exile. They have the big man, little man. Slug with a big, huge maneuver there, dropping the over 300-pound frame on Xander. And Liam Connors, he is that MMA specialist. He's got the submissions, he's got the striking, and you combine that with the big man that is Slug. Right there with the code breaker, wait with that knee brace right to the face. That's what Xander uses. One. Oh! Slug kicks out at the last second. Xander has that knee brace. I don't think he has anything wrong with that knee. I think he uses it as a weapon. And is he going for the Marca? Xander hits it. The Exile coming out hot. They want to end this one early. Can they pick up the win after the Marca? Xander, that's his finisher. Rolling him up real close to the ropes, though. And Liam Connors easily breaks that one up. And beautiful tag team synergy and beautiful maneuvers from the Exile to kick off this one. But a bear hug from Slug. Opts to throw him right back down, though. And those bear hugs, they can sap a lot of your energy. I think Slug wanted to save his energy probably for when he gets it Ultimo Nightmare in the ring, but that's a huge pump kick from Liam Connors. I mentioned the striking. Xander kicks out quick, though. Both these teams not wanting to show any weakness, and I think that's extra important for the Exile. You've already had that loss. You don't want to come out here and show any weakness. You don't want to show that it's rattled you, that it shook you in any way. You are the BCW World Tag Team Champions, and to their credit, Xander and Ultimo Nightmare, they have come out here and they are acting like they are the BCW World Tag Team Champions and looking to hit a big double team maneuver here. What could this be? Second rope superplex followed by a big splash from the 330 Ultimo Nightmare from the top rope. And now just grinding that knee right into the back and just pulling back, but Liam Connors gets out fast, and I do not blame him. If you were in a maneuver like that, that is going to do a lot of damage. That is going to torque your spine in unnatural ways. And he's going, Ultimo Nightmare was going for that big chokeslam. We've seen him use that to perfection in the past, but Liam Connors, he does like that springboard. He is quite the striker, but he does like leaving his feet the odd time for the springboards to get that little extra bit of momentum. And when you're going up against Ultimo Nightmare with that 6'7", 330 frame, you're going to want all the momentum, all the added inertia that you can get. And now smart maneuver, locking up Ultimo Nightmare in the unfriendly part of the ring, going for the leg, and now these big elbow shots. And another big strike, picks him up, and what is this here? Flips him over, a big knee to the face. Center of the ring, can this be it? Oh, and Xander super quick. I don't even think that was a 1 count. And what a maneuver from Liam Connors, hitting that knee to the face of Ultimo Nightmare. And Ultimo Nightmare, he wears that metal and plastic mask over his face. So if you get a knee, not only is the knee going into the face, but it's forcing that mask right into your face too, potentially causing double damage. Hot tag there from Ultimo Nightmare. Now we got Xander and Slug in the ring, and Slug just showing all that power. has a near 100-pound weight advantage over Xander. Xander rolls outside of the ring, and now we got the Exiled looking to be on the wrong side of this equation. And still to come in this episode, we got Dirty Don confronting Mr. GM, and up next we got Pedro Loco versus the Great Gomez in a lucha battle. Not to mention the 2024 BCW Award nominees. We will have the winners on the following episode in the new year in 2025. But back to this action, Xander's looking to do something big, and he hits a huge clothesline, knocking Liam Connors over the top rope, makes the tag, sends in the big man. And the Exiled, every time they are behind the 8 ball in this one, they do something, they do what champions do, and they get back to controlling the situation, controlling the match. And now we got Ultimo Nightmare in, and when it comes to control, Ultimo Nightmare is the ace in the hole for trying to get someone in there to control a match, to reestablish dominance, and now just choking him out there. Ripcord Xander into the corner, and is he going to follow up with that big clothesline again? And he does. Oh, and now Liam with the hot tag. Xander has had some trouble when it has been the matchup of Xander and Slug. And as I mentioned, a near 100-pound weight advantage does Slug have over Xander. Xander is that hardcore and deathmatch wrestler, so he can take punishment. There is no issue there, no question mark about how durable Xander is. But when you have your back slammed on the apron, that corner bead, that's going to do a lot of damage. And now picking him up on the outside, slams him down, hitting his head on the steel steps. Referee making the count, urging both competitors to get back in the ring, and Slug does it. I know Liam and Slug would love to pin the World Tag Team Champions, but I think they would take a count-out victory. And Xander's getting pumped back up. But now Slug's attention is diverted. Goes to Ultimo Nightmare. Oh, and he's going to be doing the same thing. Picks up Ultimo Nightmare and slams him down on that corner bead. Slug really utilizing the whole ring, inside and outside, to his advantage in this one. And again, picks up... Oh, but Xander, beautiful top rope maneuver. We do not see that very often from Xander. We can count the amount of times that Xander has left his feet on one hand, but he pulled out something big, pulled out something impactful here tonight in a big spinning back kick. We have not seen that from Xander either. A lot of new wrinkles to the game that Xander's bringing out, and now he's going after Liam and just picks him down. Does a double leg takedown and just raining punches on both the competitors in this match. Slug is down, Liam is down. The Exiled have firmly reestablished themselves in this matchup. And Slug walking a little bit gingerly there. Gets back in the ring. Xander reverses, shot to the back. Slug reverses, shot with the elbow. Picks him up, end of days, knocking him out. Could this be it? But he's in the wrong part of the ring. 2. Oh, Ultimo Nightmare was right there, but he didn't need it. Xander able to kick out, showing that durability that I was talking about earlier. Xander is so durable. Rolls out of that kick, avoids it, slams down Liam Connors, and does a beautiful moonsault. Never seen a moonsault out of Xander in my life, but he pulls it out here. The Exiled, they really want this victory. They want to reestablish themselves. They want to put the fear in the hearts of everyone in the tag team division like they did when they were 10-0. Oh, and picking them up here, what's this? Oh, a double team maneuver there, almost a double Nightmare Fuel. The Nightmare Fuel is Ultimo Nightmare's finisher. 1, 2, off the double team. Oh, Liam Connors able to kick out, but Liam looks like he is running on fumes. It does not look like there is much in the tank for Liam. Oh, and what's this? Oh, and we have seen Xander win matches. This is how we won the World Tag Team titles, with this maneuver. Modified crossface, putting that shoulder behind the head, though. Not only does it rip and tear at the face, but you could dislocate that shoulder in a move like that. And Liam, he is writhing in pain, grabbing the neck, grabbing the shoulder area. That move did not get the win, but that could have done a lot of damage to Liam, really knotting up that neck. Oh, and he goes for the pump kick. It took out Xander, but it could not even get Ultimo Nightmare off his feet with all these shots. Oh, Liam went for the back fist. But Ultimo Nightmare picking him up for his finisher. Can he hit the Nightmare Fuel center of the ring and slams him down? Liam Connors is out. It is Academic now, 2 and 3. The Exiled pick up the win. Get that much-needed monkey off their back, and here we go. Sending a message to Jacob Akane and Adam Ace, just wearing out Liam and Slug. We got to get control. We got to get security out here. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a second. Well, here we go. We have the main event set tonight. What a conversation Mr. GM and Dirty Don had. We have a Champions Challenge match for the main event. But coming up next, it is the Great Gomez versus Pedro Loco in their second meeting. Match number 2 for tonight's episode. BCW 41, A Nightmare After Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the luchador Pedro Loco.
Well, here we go. On the last episode, we had Pedro Loco ask for a rematch against the Great Gomez, and he got it. But Pedro Loco was so confident, I think he has a game plan going into this one. He lost the first match against the Great Gomez due, I think, to that experience gap between the two. But Pedro Loco, he was confident. He wanted the rematch. He asked for it. It was granted. Can he pick up the win here tonight?
Standing 6'4" and weighing in at 305 pounds. He is a luchador with over 35 years experience and a former WWL World Champion. He is the Great Gomez.
And here he is, Lucha Royalty, making his way into the ring. The Great Gomez, 35 plus years experience. The Great Gomez and his brother Sergio, they have adopted Pedro Loco into the Gomez family. They're training him. They're going to make him the greatest luchador since the Great Gomez and Sergio. But Pedro Loco, he asked for this rematch. He wants it. He wants to beat the Great Gomez to show both the Great Gomez and Sergio that he is on their level. He is not an underling. He is not a young boy. He is on the same level as the Gomez family. He asked for the rematch. Can he get the win, or will the Great Gomez pick up another victory against the young Pedro Loco?
Fight!
And here we go. The bell has rung. The match is underway. Lucha action on this post-Christmas episode of Beyond Compare Wrestling. And as it gets cold outside, we get hot in the BCW arena for this one. And the Great Gomez, in addition to 35 plus years experience, he has an over 100-pound weight advantage. Pedro Loco goes about 160, 170, and the Great Gomez is about 300 pounds. So in addition to the size discrepancy, Pedro Loco has to contend with just the absolutely massive experience discrepancy. Pedro Loco, he's been in the game about a year or two. So the Great Gomez has about 17 times the experience of a Pedro Loco, and a beautiful Spanish fly there from the 300-pounder, getting that spin and that torque. And the Great Gomez and Sergio, they are so big for luchadors, but if you're a big, strong, heavy luchador and you can still do all those maneuvers. Oh, and a beautiful, speaking of maneuvers, beautiful maneuver there. Pedro Loco was set up in that tree of Lawrence, but he hit him with the kick. And Pedro Loco really focusing on the reversals. And a beautiful DDT there. Perhaps that is Pedro Loco's formula to success. Utilize reversals as opposed to engaging yourself in a big, beautiful standing shooting star press there. Using weight and gravity, Pedro Loco has got to use his speed, in my opinion. And another one there, doubling up. If one is good, two is better. One. Oh, checking his progress, only able to get the one on this one. And we seen when Pedro Loco requested the rematch, he wanted the rematch, as he said, to show the Great Gomez and Sergio that he is learning, he is improving, and he is on their level. If they are going to be a trios faction, Pedro Loco does not want to be seen as an underling. He does not want to be seen as the young boy. He wants to be on equal footing, and the only way he is going to get to be on that equal footing is a win over someone like the Great Gomez. Oh, but the Great Gomez there went for that snap suplex and hurt his own back. And the one disadvantage that I think the Great Gomez has is just the wear and tear on his body from 35 plus years of being in the ring. He's got both knee braces on, and his back has got to be not that of a young Pedro Loco. There's got to be a lot of damage to the vertebrae, the spine, the legs, the ankles, all the joints. Oh, but beautiful speed there. So Pedro Loco, he's got to use exactly that. If your opponent doesn't have the same mobility and the same speed as you, Pedro Loco's really got to focus on that speed, and perhaps that is what he feels is his key to victory here tonight. And a big bulldog from the top. Oh, and quickly shoots it over. Middle of the ring, 1, 2. Great Gomez kicks out. Pedro Loco looking a lot better in this one so far than what he did in the first one. Is he going for the locomotion? Oh, and he is, but he misses again. That's what caused him to lose the first one. That locomotion is such a maneuver that really utilizes gravity, really utilizes torque, gets all that momentum, and when Pedro Loco hits it, man, does the air rush right out of your body. In addition to the pain, it makes your body go into spasms. Your body starts fighting for air, and that's how Pedro Loco gets the victories. But really focusing on the legs here. Oh, and he goes, locks him up in a cloverleaf, really wrenching on those knees. Those knees that have been weakened from 35 years of in-ring combat. But the Great Gomez, using that power, still has a lot of power in those legs. One of the quads of the Great Gomez is probably equal to about the torso of a Pedro Loco. Oh, and these two looked like he was going for a big clothesline, and now these two are just trading shots. I do not think Pedro Loco wants to trade shots with a man that is about 130, 140 pounds more than he is, but he is absorbing this, and he is taking them. Even though this is a lucha battle, we got a little bit of strong style in this one, just avoiding those slaps, though. Just a slap across the face from the Great Gomez. Oh, and a stiff shot there. He's got those tape fists. Pedro going for a shot there. Oh, and a beautiful transition into a single crab. Wrenching on that knee. Can he get it? Really pull it back, and he taps him. Pedro Loco defeats the Great Gomez. Wow. And let's take a look at the replay of this one. The biggest win of Pedro Loco's career. And I think the Bulldog, as we see right there, was the precursor to really setting it up. Knocked the Great Gomez a bit loopy, and then from there it was really just focusing on those knees. The back really weakening up the lower half of the Great Gomez, and I think that is where Pedro Loco saw his opportunity. But this was a beautiful maneuver. Let's take a look at this again. Just body scissors, transitions right into that single leg crab, and look at him just wrench it back on it. Really torquing the quad, the knee, the ankle, the back. On the Great Gomez, he is walking gingerly. Pedro Loco extends the hand. Great Gomez accepts. What a lucha libre display here on tonight's episode. And congratulations to Pedro Loco. What a win he picked up here tonight.
The following contest is your main event of the evening and will be a singles match.
All right, and it is main event time here tonight. Dirty Dawn versus Cameron Lewis in a Champions Challenge match. And the wrinkle to this one is that Mr. GM will be the special guest referee. As we seen earlier, Isaac Taylor got in the spirit of the holiday season. He gifted his Champions Challenge opportunity to his partner Cameron Lewis. Can Cameron Lewis come out with the win here tonight? We're going to find out in tonight's main event of BCW 41, A Nightmare After Christmas.
Please welcome to the ring, the man in charge, Mr. GM.
And here he is, donning the black and white. Mr. GM, the special guest referee for this match. And between Dirty Dawn and Mr. GM, they have no love lost. They are perpetual enemies ever since BCW kicked off. Dirty Don has been a thorn in the side of Mr. GM, and their rivalry culminated on the last episode at Beyond Rules 3. They had that ambulance match against each other. Can Mr. GM call it right down the middle? We're going to find out here tonight.
Standing 5 feet, 10 inches tall, and weighing 220 pounds. He is a high flyer and comes to us from St. Louis, Missouri. He is the future Cameron Lewis.
And here he is, Cameron Lewis. He had a Champions Challenge opportunity against Dirty Don a few weeks ago, and he came up short on that one. But tonight, Isaac Taylor has gifted his Champions Challenge opportunity to his partner, Cameron Lewis, giving him a second shot. Cameron Lewis and Isaac Taylor have been on the outs a little bit, as Cameron Lewis wanted to do some singles competition, and he wanted Isaac Taylor to get behind him, and you cannot get behind someone any more than gifting him your Champions Challenge. Can Cameron Lewis make the most of this opportunity here tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed BCW World Heavyweight Champion, Dirty Don.
And here he is making his way to the ring with all the swagger he can muster. Dirty Don, fresh off of his win at Beyond Rules 3 against Mr. GM. He put him in the ambulance. He beat Mr. GM. And as we've seen from the Marksman article earlier, both these men required over 100 stitches. There was a lot of bruises, a lot of lacerations. They've had 2 months to recover. They both look like they've done that.
The following contest is a Champions Challenge match.
For a Champions Challenge, it is a standard one-on-one match with a 10-minute time limit. All BCW wrestlers get one Champions Challenge match to be used for the world title or the world tag team titles as they see fit. And of course, as we saw earlier, Isaac Taylor has gifted his Champions Challenge to Cameron Lewis. Cameron Lewis used his a few weeks ago when he came up short against Dirty Don. And the rules of the Champions Challenge: if the challenger wins before the time limit expires, the challenger will receive a championship match with the stipulation of their choosing. Now, if the champion wins before the time limit expires, the challenger is no longer eligible for a title shot during the duration of that champion's title reign. And if the time limit expires without a winner, it will go to our panel of 3 judges for a decision. So, without further ado, BCW 41, A Nightmare After Christmas main event. And the bell has rung, the match is underway. Start the 10-minute time limit. The main event of BCW 41, A Nightmare After Christmas, is Dirty Don versus Cameron Lewis. Champions Challenge, and Dirty Don going for a quick pinfall attempt there. I think checking to see how partial or impartial Mr. GM will be with those counts. And that is going to be something to look at in this one, because as we said earlier, there is no love lost between Dirty Don and Mr. GM. And as we've seen earlier from that Marksman article, over 100 stitches between the two. When they had their ambulance match, there was barbed wire bats used, there were garbage cans, there were steel chairs, there was a lot of damage. Oh! Dirty Don just swatting Cameron Lewis out of the air like a fly. And Cameron Lewis, this is now his second Champion Challenge opportunity. Every competitor gets one, but as we've seen earlier, Isaac Taylor was in the giving mood this holiday season, gifting his Champions Challenge match to Cameron Lewis. And Isaac Taylor and Cameron Lewis, they were on a little bit of the outs. We thought that potentially they might be breaking up as a tag team, as Cameron Lewis wanted to get into more singles competition. He wants to prove himself as a singles competitor. He wants to live up to that moniker as the Future. And the Brotherhood, they have challenged for the tag titles 3 times, so Cameron Lewis wanting to test the waters in singles competition. He wanted Isaac Taylor to back him up and be supportive of that. And it does not get any more supportive than using your one and only Champions Challenge, gifting it to your partner. And what an episode to do it on right after Christmas, a late Christmas present for Cameron Lewis. But now all the pressure's on Cameron Lewis. He's got to make it work. You do not want to have someone gift you your Champions Challenge only to come up with no water in the pool. But Cameron Lewis, he's looking really good so far in this one. We got about 2 minutes down. And when Cameron Lewis first faced Dirty Don in the Champion Challenge a few weeks ago, it was really Dirty Don sealing up that, I'd say, about the first 6-7 minutes of that match. Cameron Lewis goes for the cover here. Cameron Lewis lost via split decision in that one, and it was really the last 2-3 minutes that Cameron Lewis made up a lot of ground, but it was too little too late. Cameron Lewis, he knows the mistakes he made in that first match. I'm sure he's watched the tape about 1,000 times. He has a much better game plan going into this one. And with the added caveat of Mr. GM, will that be enough? Oh, and Cameron Lewis there, I thought he was going to go for that sunset flip from the second, but opted just to use it as a distraction. But Dirty Don going and kicking out the knee there of a Cameron Lewis. Cameron Lewis, he loves to jump. He loves to fly. He is one of the fastest and most agile on the roster. Smart move from Dirty Don. Oh, and what's this? Big neck breaker there. But Cameron Lewis lands awkwardly on that hip. It looked like he was grabbing his back. And so far, so good as it relates to how partial or impartial Mr. GM is going to be in this match. So far, it looks like he's calling it right down the middle. Nice, even counts. But even if Mr. GM plays it right down the middle, even if he calls it 100% 50-50, is that going to be in the back of Dirty Don's mind? Is he going to be constantly looking over his shoulder? And will that create enough of a distraction for Cameron Lewis to create an advantage? But a big, huge shot there, and we're going to go now. We're going to see here 1, 2. Mr. GM only gets a 2 out of that one, but a nice even count here when we have about little over 6 minutes left in this matchup. Cameron Lewis evades there. Dirty Don with a big shot. Oh, and captures suplex. Knocks him all up there in a big, huge suplex from Dirty Don. He is known for his suplexes. Belly to back. Bavarian suplexes. Belly to bellies. And a big shot off the top rope there. Crowns him. Cameron Lewis looking a little woozy. Goes to the corner. Dirty Don just stomping him out. Grinding that boot right to the face. Dirty Don picks him back up. What's he going for here? Throws him into the corner. Oh, and another big suplex, big exploder right to the corner. Cameron Lewis landing very, very awkward on that one. And these two, they're fighting it out, trading shots. Who's going to come out on the better end of this one? Dirty Don with a big knife edge chop. Cameron Lewis retorts with one of his own. Trading some big shots on this one. Oh, and Dirty Don mixes it up with a big punch right to the face. And look at these Warriors just trading shots. Neither one of them wants to show any weakness. They do not want to show that the other one has an advantage. And we are coming up right to about the halfway mark in this one. Cameron Lewis really unleashing shots. And right at the halfway mark, both these men trading hockey blows back and forth. Who's going to come out with the advantage on this one? Dirty Don went for the half and half. Cameron Lewis gets out of it with the backflip. Goes to the top rope. Big forearm shot. Cameron Lewis, I think he is in firm control of the first 5 minutes of this one, especially after that flurry. And what has he got here? Going for the gut breaker. Oh no, and he picks him up. Goes for that Michinoku driver, almost into a Michinoku pile driver. I thought he was going for the Michinoku driver on that one. Oh, now Cameron Lewis, his finisher is that frog splash, but he's going up there real slow. Frog splash hits it. Can he get the win? If he gets the win, he gets a championship match with the stip of his choosing, trying to drag Dirty Don to the center of the ring. He doesn't want him to get that foot on the rope. Oh, and Mr. GM there with a fast count. Coming up to about 4 minutes in this match. Mr. GM showing that he is not going to be impartial. That was a clear fast count. But Dirty Don was able, to his credit, to kick out. Cameron Lewis starting to feel it now. But Dirty Don with a huge power bomb needs to reestablish himself, needs to slow down Cameron Lewis. Got a lot of points there from that power bomb on the potential judges' scorecards as we have just over 3.5 minutes. But Cameron Lewis with that Hurricanrana driver. And that move is so devastating, really just slamming the head. It's akin to that of a DDT. Really just slamming the forehead of Dirty Don into the mat. Mr. GM more of a measured fair count on that one. And Dirty Don, he did have some lacerations. He did have some damage to that head in the Beyond Rules 3 matchup. So for Cameron Lewis to go for that head damage, to go for that Hurricanrana driver, it is a beautiful maneuver for Cameron Lewis to utilize. But Dirty Don kicked to the ribs, trying to sap the gas tank of a Cameron Lewis, because in these last 3 minutes, that is where Cameron Lewis was really shining the last time they met. Oh, and it looked like Dirty Don was going to go for the break of dawn, that sharpshooter, but Cameron Lewis able to get out of it and picks it up into a hip toss neck breaker. Dirty Don really grabbing the neck. That could have done a lot of damage. Looked like it was an awkward landing too. And Cameron Lewis doubling down, really wrenching on the neck of Dirty Don. And goes for the cover. Oh, and a 2 count there. Mr. GM, another measured fair count. So far, there's only been 1 fast count in this one. Cameron Lewis to the top rope. Looked like he was going for that frog splash, but Dirty Don was able to get up, spins it around, hits him with a DDT. Potentially a flash knockout there. Cameron Lewis seeing stars. And we are coming up to the 2-minute mark. 80% of this Champions Challenge match is completed, and I think Cameron Lewis is ahead on my unofficial scorecard. What will the judges have to say? And Cameron Lewis buying some time, throwing out Dirty Don, smart maneuver. I think Cameron Lewis is in firm control, but if he can throw his opponent to the outside, there is no chance that he is going to get pinned. The judges' decision did not go Cameron Lewis's way on the first attempt, but any way you can get it, a win is a win is a win. It would be extra nice if you pin the champ, you get the title match with the stip of your choosing, but even just getting a fair match without a time limit could be to the advantage of a Cameron Lewis. Oh, and Dirty Don kicks out there. The longer this match goes, seemingly the more momentum Cameron Lewis gets, and he's looking real good as we come up to about 1 minute left in this one. Dirty Don with a beautiful DDT, though. Heads to the middle rope. Oh, and misses with that knee. And here we go. We are in the final minute of this match, and Dirty Don going for the dirty driver. It's his finisher. He hits it near the center of the ring. Mr. GM taking his time to get into position. 1, 2. Oh, and Cameron Lewis kicks out. A little bit of a slow count on there and a little bit of time he took to get in position. And we are coming up to about 30 seconds in this one. Both men have got to do something big if they want to get the win. Cameron Lewis just smashing that knee of Dirty Don. 20 seconds left. Both these men have got to do something big if they want to get the win. Otherwise, it is going to the judges' scorecards. We are coming up to about 10 seconds left. Cameron Lewis to the top rope. Is he going to go for the frog splash? Can he seal the deal? Hits it. 5 seconds left. Can he roll in? Goes for the cover. 1, 2. And the time limit has expired with 1 second left.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit for this match has expired. Therefore, the match will officially be declared a time limit draw. However, we will go to the judges' scorecards for an unofficial decision. Our first judge scores the bout in favor of Cameron Lewis. Judge number 2 scores the bout in favor of Dirty Dog. Our third and final judge scores the bout in favor for the winner by split decision, the future Cameron Lewis.
And Cameron Lewis picks up the win via split decision. Call it a miracle on 34th Street. Call it an assist from Mr. GM. But either way you slice it, Cameron Lewis picks up the biggest win of his career and potentially the biggest upset that we've seen in BCW. Wow. And here we go. We're going to run down the results here tonight. It was the Exile picking up a win, improving to 11-1, shaking off that loss, getting back to their winning ways with a victory over Liam Connors and Slug. And then it was Pedro Loco picking up his second win here in BCW against a true lucha libre legend in the Great Gomez. And it was our main event, Cameron Lewis picking up the biggest win of his career at last year's December event. He nearly beat the tag team champions in a handicap match. And Cameron Lewis, he really turns it up in December as he picked up the biggest win of his career. He won the Champions Challenge. He gets a world title match in 2025. What a way to end the year for Cameron Lewis. And as we look towards 2025, we look towards BCW 42. And on the next episode, we have the return of the Butcher Byron Cassidy, fresh off of his Euro Slam win. And we continue the BCW Commonwealth Tournament. Sergio Gomez versus Tony Rizzo, Amir Man versus Ken Show, and Grizzly Mac versus Tofik. As the Commonwealth title tournament continues, it will be BCW 42 Homecoming. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in 2025.